What's happening, guys? This is Nick, and today we're talking about the Survivor Series card for this Saturday. I can't believe that we're literally 2 dates left for John Cena's retirement tour. Where we were at the very beginning of this year when it was the Royal Rumble, and we were talking about John Cena, his entire run throughout the year, who he's going to face, the potential matchups, and now we're talking about the end. This Survivor Series card, if I'm going to be transparent with you, the build-up has not been the most exciting. It just hasn't. There's a lot of star power. There are a lot of great names and monumental moments that will take place, I'm sure. But the build-up to this Survivor Series card has been, I would say, suboptimal. Um, Now, I know that a lot of people were hoping that we could sort of have a situation where the men's and the women, like they're both in war games, but if we could have a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, the elimination match, and we're actually getting that this Friday night. Um, I believe it's between the MFTs and Sami Zayn's team. I apologize. I really could care less about that match. I think it was a match put together last minute, but um, I believe having that match on the Survivor Series card would have been a nice touch. I know that's not happening, and it's just I'm not so sure. A lot of people are huge fans of having, two war game matches on the same card. Sometimes it can be a little overkill, depending on the amount of star power you have. Also, the length of these matches, tend to be very very long. But regardless, it's looking on paper like it's going to be quite the event. Now, we're starting off the preview here with John Cena and Dominic Mysterio. Now, this match, I did not have this in my predictions for this year, that Cena would be facing Dominic Mysterio, and not just facing him, but also having almost like a mini storyline, because he's been, I believe it's more than one occasion that he's had Cena in the ring. A lot of people did not like the fact that Dominic Mysterio was the one to get multiple matches with Cena in his retirement tour, basically because of the dates that he has available. But I believe he's living up to the expectation. I think Dominic Mysterio, when it's all said and done, is going to be the guy of this generation that you're going to look up to when you think of a heel in this era. What is a heel supposed to be like in this era? Dominic Mysterio is the role model for heels in this generation. At least I believe that. Now, you could make the suggestion, you could say, well, there's a lot of other talent that are, in NXT that are making their way up that are better than what Dom does and who Dom is, and that's all fine. But the thing is, you look at the crowd reaction that Dom gets. I mean, he soaks it up so well. It's almost like he loves to be hated. And the way that he comes across, he loves the hate. And as a heel, you really need to embrace that. There's a lot of names on the shows that we could bring up and say, well, they're heels, but quite frankly, they don't seem like they fit the role very well, just because they can't handle the heat. Dominic Mysterio can handle the heat. Now, this match, it's for the IC title. He did originally drop the title to Cena in Boston, in his hometown, and this match, I believe he's going to get it back. Um, I do not believe John Cena will be going to Saturday night's main event as a champion. Um, I believe this is where Dominic regains the title. Now, how he does that is a totally different story, because a lot of people are saying that Dominic Mysterio is going to have some help. I did read a comment that said, "What if we had Rey Mysterio turn on John Cena and align himself with Dom to help him regain the title. You see, it makes sense if you're WWE and you're trying to create this sort of shock factor. However, it doesn't make sense in terms of storyline. It doesn't make any sense because Dominic has been a thorn in his dad's side, and his dad despises his son for being the way he is. It's been like this for many years. So to flip the switch like that and have Ray align with Dom, it would leave a lot of people confused. It would leave a lot of people uncertain of, you know, why was it that Ray decided to do this? And I'd be curious to see what kind of angle they take if they ever decide to do that. I'm sure there's going to be a time and place where Dom is a babyface and he's going to be back with his father eventually. But this night, Survivor Series in San Diego, I believe Dominic is going to is going to win the title from John Cena in his hometown. Now, the next match is this is the Women's World Championship between Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella. I feel like the 5-on-5 elimination match that we're getting on SmackDown, that we could have taken that and placed it here. Nikki Bella, say whatever you want about her, she has improved in the ring. But every single time you put her against any of the women today, I'm talking like Becky Lynch, Bayley, Stephanie Vaquer, you know, just anybody of today's generation, she doesn't fit very well. You can see when she's wrestling, she's off. You know, her cues are off, her pacing is off, and you really need somebody in that ring to make her look good. So if you have somebody that is at her level or below her level, like a rookie, this match is not going to go well at all. Now, I think it's only fair that Stephanie retains the title, but I could see a situation where they might put it on Nikki Bella if they have plans to put a long-term story together with Nikki and Stephanie. I don't know why they're doing this. You know, I rather would prefer Stephanie to feud with someone else on the roster. But yeah, I believe this is going to be a quick match. This might be like under 10 minutes. It'll be quick, fast, to the point. Stephanie retains. Now we get into the women's war game match. The first thing I'm going to say about this match is that they could have done a way better job at building the story between the teams. You see, we had a situation where where Charlotte and Rhea could not get on the same page. And because of that, there was tension. However, WWE decided not to capitalize on that tension. Because if you guys watched SmackDown last week, there was a sit-down meeting with the two. They had this backstage and this confrontation, and it was almost like, what happened with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. If you remember that storyline from last year, when they had to sit down, Paul Heyman was there. They were trying to get on the same page. Unfortunately, WWE decided that, WarGames is happening next week, and we got to speed things up. So let's speed this up, get them on the same page, and get to the match. There could have been some more tension. And when I say tension, I mean you could have had something where Charlotte and Rhea are forced to fight in a tag team match. And we have to see, are they going to be able to work together or not? To build up that tension. They could have done something rather than just have Charlotte say she doesn't trust Rhea, and then on the next show we see them, shaking hands or hugging it out or whatever. Um, Now, maybe when they go into the match, something happens in the match. Maybe the idea is for us to think that they're on the same page, and now what happens is when they get to the match, there's going to be shenanigans. Maybe a miscue. Maybe Charlotte does end up hitting Rhea. Maybe it was a miscommunication. Or maybe we have Alexa Bliss turn on Charlotte. That will be an interesting move. We're seeing Charlotte have issues with Rhea, which is sort of the obvious route to take because the two of them have had history. But if Alexa Bliss was the one to turn, now that would be interesting. And we have a situation between Charlotte and Alexa. And I believe anything that goes down here, I believe having Charlotte Flair maintain a babyface role, I do not want to see her go heel. Maintain a babyface role is where it's at. She has become somebody who the crowd enjoys now. I mean, the crowd likes Charlotte Flair. And it's been a long time since we've had that. She's not in the spotlight. She's not taking up the main roster, the main event role. She's in a tag team. She's playing a sort of a funny character with Alexa Bliss. She's more relatable now than ever. So I do hope that we get to keep Charlotte the way she is. And if we're going to have a situation with Alexa Bliss turning, I think that would even amplify Charlotte in the eyes of the audience. They would love to cheer her even more if we see that. In terms of the winners here, I believe that I'm going to say the babyface team wins. However, I do believe that there will be shenanigans in this match. I believe we're going to see something happen between Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Now we go to the men's WarGames match. I'm gonna say that this match needs to be won by the heel team, and the reason being is because Roman Reigns, CM Punk, all these guys, they don't need the win here. But the heel team, we have Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, and I believe that we are going to need to see a different side of the heels. We're going to need to see a different side of the vision because this is a star-studded lineup. I mean, we're talking champions. The heels team, they seem to have the least amount of experience overall when you combine even Brock Lesnar. I mean, when was the last time you seen Brock Lesnar inside a WarGames match? Never. So this is going to be interesting. I like the way that they were building it up last week on Raw. I wish what they would have done, though, is announce the teams beforehand. Right? Announce the teams beforehand. And as the weeks go on, they would build up tension between each of the team members. Like, we know who the teams are already, but instead of telling us at the last minute, like sort of what they did last week, to build it up over time, we know who the teams are weeks in advance, but there's going to be tension between the two, right? So kind of like what we saw last Friday where Drew McIntyre attacked Cody outside the ring, the arena. Things like that. Can you imagine having television like that week after week between a member of the heels team and a member of the babyface team? I mean, we're talking about ratings going down. I mean, that is what helps bring ratings up because you have your superstars like Roman, like Lesnar on TV. Now, sure, they're not going to be here every single week, but I mean, you can build it up to the point where we feel like this WarGames match is going to be must see. Because right now, because of the star power, I'm looking forward to it. but I really I wish that we had a little bit more build to this match. So I do believe that I guess you call it Team Lesnar. You know, I don't know who the the leader of that team is. Team Lesnar. I believe they will take the victory here, um, and it's going to be interesting to see where they head into 2026 because we're it's very likely that we're going to see a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns and someone from the Vision. A lot of people are saying Braun Breaker, for WrestleMania next year. Um, we could potentially see Seth Rollins come back. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen, but if Seth Rollins does come back, then there's a chance that it'll be Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker when he's back to get his revenge on the Vision turning on him. Um, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Brock Lesnar. Where does he go from here? Does he have a match at the Royal Rumble? Is he going to be in the Rumble? You know, um, but all in all, I believe that this War Games it's going to be a fairly decent show. I again, there's not a lot of matches on this card, and I think that is to give a lot of time to the two War Games matches. But um, all in all, it's going to be an exciting show. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing um, where they take this, and I believe this will lead into something as we head into Saturday night's main event, as we head into the Royal Rumble, as we head into WrestleMania. A lot of the seeds are being planted now with these clashes back and forth. So that's my prediction for Survivor Series. I want to hear what you guys have to say, guys and girls, in the comments below. Tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel Survivor Series is going to turn out? Is it going to be incredible? Is it going to be middle of the road? Is it going to be downright dumpster fire? Leave your comments in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.